How's it going, everyone? Today we have another RC car. This one's still out of Legos, but even smaller. If you guys watched my last video where I did a Lego RC car, I did this propeller setup that's a little bit different than what I got here. So first off, this car doesn't have any suspension, but the steering works essentially the same. So it has these two pieces right here, here and here, and the front piece moves independently of the rear piece, as you can see when I move it. And basically the servo moves back and forth and is suspended on a free rotating little piece right here, and that allows it to freely move back and forth and then turn the front piece, which then turns the wheels, which are on the second axis. As you can see, you get a pretty decent turn radius. In fact, it can do donuts really well. Now, as I've taken the hood off there, you can see how I mounted the motor, the ESC, and the servo all next to each other, and then the receiver's in its own little slot back here. How the motor drivetrain works is I've got a Lego piece to sort of convert the metal to direct Legos, and I actually had to sand the inside of that out so that it would fit over the motor piece, but once it did, it's nice and snug and it spins quite accurately without much vibration. And then that goes down here to this drive belt system where it has a small to a high gear. This allows for high RPM on the motor and not much strain on it, especially if the car spins out. The motor I have here is a lower kV, so it gets a little bit more torque, which is nice for the RC car. And that's connected up to this 12 amp ESC here, and then a little 5-gram servo, and then a 350 milliamp hour 2-cell battery. And I've tried using a 3-cell on it, and it does wheelies and has way too much torque and power to sort of work really well. If you balance it out right, it might be okay, but 2-cell is definitely the best thing that's worked so far. Surprisingly, this setup is really efficient. It'll run for about 30 minutes on this tiny little battery. I guess spinning this really small little gear is a lot less strain on it than a prop because the ESC and the motor don't get hot at all. I also have these cool bumpers up here connected directly to the steering shaft, and they work really well in preventing it from taking much damage. In fact, the whole little rig is really sturdy and really bouncy, and it's really easy to repair, especially since it's made out of Legos, which is the really cool part. In the future, I'm planning to make this into a Mercedes CLA 250 class with a little bit of foam board, and hopefully that'll make it look even cooler. Overall, this is a really cool, fast indoor racer, and it's really good at drifting, so I don't know, it might be a nice drifting custom rig. I don't really know how to release plans with Legos, so I don't think I can do that, but I can show you sort of a build video in the future if this video gets really popular. But other than that, let's go see how it drives.
You just have to barely touch it. Whoa.